And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Don't look now, but the YSN boys are in Pennsylvania. The Keystone State, DJ Oakley, Steve Leslie joining you live from Cranberry, Pennsylvania, live at the Sports Grill. Yeah, you've heard of the Sports Grill because it's been a staple in the Valley going back 22 years, Steve.
Yeah, 22 years, a long time. Sean Pregabone and his wife, Carrie, the owners of Sports Grill. It all started in the Boardman Plaza 22 years ago, and then they headed over to South Avenue and had a great 10-year stint there. Happy anniversary there, and 10 years here at Cranberry. Happy anniversary to Sean and the Sports Grill. What a great place. It's in the middle of Sports Town, USA. The PA is the place to be. Cranberry, the Sports Grill, is the place to be for all college games, DJ, NFL ticket, everything. They get a great turnout. When we talked with Sean, he has Browns backers in a room, Steeler fans. It's a sports town. It's a sports grill, and we're proud to be here, no doubt.
Absolutely. We'll talk to Sean here in just a little bit. We also have some Cardinal Mooney Cardinals in the house.
How about the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals? Rocco Turner, state champion in golf. We're proud of him to wear the belt. We're proud of him as from a YSN standpoint to win a state championship in golf. Shout out to that young man. I'm awful proud. It's my alma mater, Cardinal Mooney, so shout out to him. Nick Pregabone, let's talk state soccer semifinals. Ottawa Hills, 7 o'clock in Sandusky, a little ride. Hopefully, I don't know what our plans are. If we'll hopefully have someone over there and cover that on Wednesday, but we'll have Sean on, we'll have Rocco on, we'll have obviously Nick. Those guys do a great job of promoting Cardinal Mooney. You were there Thursday night. We'll get into some football. Are there bigger matchups in high school football than what YSN Nation has? And that'll be a week of fun for all of us when you look at matchups. And, yes, there's two big matchups, no doubt. South Range and Mooney, Urson and Canfield. But we have a lot of schools left at YSN that we're proud of that we're going to get them covered. And hopefully we know we're going to have two get into a regional final, and hopefully we can get some more.
Well, you look at kind of the matchups. We'll have 5 games this weekend. And remember, folks, this is where they split it up. You got Friday and Saturday now. We have 3 all local matchups. So we are promised 3 teams advancing from the YSN family. Then you have Jefferson and West Branch as well taking on. I mean, and how impressive have those 2 teams been? I mean, I sat there saying Gerard, and here comes Jefferson saying, hey, adios, NE8. Yes. We'll take all of you down with us.
I want to ask you, because I watched the Super Show, the pick. Yeah. That was a hard week to pick games.
Oh, my gosh.
There were so many games that – and shout out to all our fans that were able to tune in and watch and all our great announcers. I got to say that I had a great opportunity at Illinois State to watch Friday Night Football. There were a lot of people watching it with me that love YSN. Our announcers and you guys do a great job, and we're going to get bigger and better this week. But I don't want to leave out of Holland Soccer, also state semifinals, another YSN school that we're proud. They're going to be in that state semifinal game. So you talk about this all the time. Football town, yes, we're in a football town here, but our sports in Youngstown for YSN all over the map. We're represented well in the state of Ohio in every sport we cover.
Could not agree more and couldn't be more proud, because you look at this and yes, everybody like we talk about it all the time. Football, everybody's attracted in football season, but then you looked around in the media before YSN was around, and it was just crickets, basketball, golf, soccer. I mean, you name it, lacrosse, all these, these different sports. You didn't hear anything. You didn't have anybody talking about the names. Yeah, sure, they would talk about the schools, but the names. We have a state golf champion with us today. They'll be sitting right where you're sitting.
Going to sit right here, and I may ask him for a few tips. We can get him in. We'll get him in a scramble, and we'll get some help getting the ball out where we need it to. But, yeah, you look at soccer, 2 state semifinalists. Volleyball, very successful seasons just end. Wellsville, I can't salute them enough. When I saw their record this morning, their 2-year record of what they did in volleyball, we're proud of all of our schools. We're proud of Sean to have us come to his restaurant here at the Sports Grill. YSN is a sports nation, Sports Grill here in Cranberry. If you can't come and enjoy sports and dinner here, you're not a big sports fan.
No, you don't have a pulse, because I walked into this place and my mouth started watering, not just from the great food that we're going to feature as well, but also, I mean, what did he say? 46 TVs?
Sean, what'd you say? 106 televisions? I know I'm a little high.
This is ridiculous.
47 televisions. And here's what I'm a Browns fan, so I'm Browns backers in there. I might have to check that out. But
you just got booed
got
already.
booed by Mr. Turner, but that's okay. I love Sean's vision, and it reminds me of yourself for your vision to start YSN and do what you do. My man started it in a small place in Boardman Plaza.
Yep.
I'll remember it was a bar, I think, of 6 seats. Remember sitting in the corner, and then he said, I need to get bigger, went over on South Avenue, and it's turned this into, I'll say it's the sports dynasty of sports restaurants in our area. And I love that there's still that Youngstown connection for them. They live in Youngstown. A lot of Youngstown people come up here and support them. And we're going to be one of those with YSN. We're going to be up here quite often.
Without a shadow of a doubt, Steve. All right, we have to talk about some of the games that happened. And you and I were watching on our phones as you were in Illinois watching. I'm sitting there and watching our teams just one after the other go down and down and down and down. And it wasn't necessarily a great weekend in football for us because we played some tough teams.
Yes.
I mean, you look at Kirtland, I'll sit there and I'll pound my chest and say one of our teams eventually will unlock that key. Kirtland's just, I mean, they're a powerhouse.
It
Lucas,
just looks like
powerhouse.
Yes.
I mean, just some bad matchups for our teams.
I think I wanted to see what probably I would never say disappointing. Brookfield is a good football team.
Left it all on the line.
Left it all out there. And it's unfortunate because, and you say this all the time like I do, those 1 to 16 rankings really mean nothing. Nope. Based on your computer and your schedule.
It's all who you play.
They were tough matchups for both of them. When, in my opinion, those could have both been regional championship games because I think Brookfield's that good. I do. Playing a Kirtland in a regional, not even a semifinal regional, those are tough tasks. But shout out to the teams that lost. No doubt Struthers left it all out on the field against a good West Branch team. We were so well represented in our area that it's another great week. I can't believe that week 13, and like you said, we have 3 matchups. We know we're going to get 3 to the finals. That's a staple to Youngstown, Ohio. It's a staple for us at YSN to promote student athletes, and we get another opportunity this weekend.
What a season for Louisville. I mean, you look at what Vinny Ballone did this season and his team. They wanted to win a playoff game. They won a playoff game.
And they did that.
And they go up against a very, very tough team.
That experience.
Yes.
You talk experience. We talk experience. Playoff experience is huge. Maybe didn't make some of the plays that they normally do. I get that. But shout out to that community. They went all out. Vinny Ballone, I think he's a great quarterback. I think a lot of people are missing the boat if you're not recruiting him, if you take a look at what the young man can do. So shout out to Louisville. And like I said, shout out to all the schools that are out. And we're getting ready for week 13.
I can't wait. And you speak about week 13. There's 2 matchups, dream matchups, Rocky Balboa matchups that we've wanted, that we've prayed for, and Lord provides us in week 13. It is Canfield. It is Ursuline on one side in Division 3. And then you look down at Division 5, and it's Cardinal Mooney and South Range. Did you ever think in your time, and you've been at both of those, and you love all 4 of those schools,
yeah.
Did you ever think you'd see these 4 schools match up?
I didn't. And it's to me, it's a tribute to how good our football is in our area. Here's the unfortunate thing. Somebody's got to lose out of those schools. Because, again, I'll say all 4 of those schools, in my opinion, can win a state championship. The way they're playing right now, I think that the 4 of them are good enough. So many good individual players. The quarterback spots for all 4 are the running backs. You could go – it's 4 of the most – quality football teams, top to bottom, offense, defense, special teams, a lot of those things. I think it's so even. It's hard to call those 4 games. Who's going to turn it over? Who's going to make a mistake? That's what I think. They're so evenly matched that it's going to be great action, and we'll be right there on both of them. I know how excited you are to promote that and for YSN to be able to stream those games for, let's be honest, a lot of family members from those 4 communities. Sean talked about that and Mr. Turner did. Grandparents that can't go and watch, they could hop on YSN and have a front row seat for 2 great games.
There's one thing that I know is that no matter how much you try to fight it, you'll never be able to be 2 places at once.
No.
And
I know that drives you crazy.
Well, and both those games are on Friday
night
at 7:00, and everybody's going to look at it and say, man, I really want to watch the Mooney game. Man, I really want to watch the Ursuline game.
You can.
And now you can.
Put it on your phone. Yep. You can watch it. Put it on your phone. $9.99. Best investment you'll ever make. You could be at one game and watch the other. Plus all the other great ones we have. shout out to you and Brian Scott. I have to say it for what he does back at headquarters to get all that up. But again, without great sponsors, come to a sports grill, all our great sponsors that we have, Compco, Legends, Baird Brothers, people, the Golden Dawn that have been with you, Coca. So look at all the places that's this week that get to shout out the team that they represent. The Golden Dawn, Johnny Naples, Rick Frida, Legends, Compco, Cardinal Mooney, you were there last week. They loved having you. We're lucky that we have great supporters, no doubt.
I will say this, though. In all the years we've had YSN, we've never eaten better than we have this year.
No.
This is unbelievable. And this is your brainchild. This is, hey, let's get out to some restaurants. Let's get out to some sports bars. And, Steve, we've never eaten better.
No.
And we
Can you eat better than Legends, the Golden Dawn?
I can't wait for this. I cannot wait for this.
He already said he's going to come out with a little bit of everything he has, so we'll be good. But appreciate you taking the time to come out. I know Sean's thrilled. We're going to get ready to have him on and talk a little shop with Sean Pregabon.
Yeah, so before we get there, we're going to get there about the 15-minute mark or so. Take our first break. We'll get Sean on, talk about the Sports Grill, the 22 years that he's invested in not only the Valley, but here in Cranberry. And we call it Pittsburgh because we're just down the road from it.
It's a great location for sure.
He said he's had the cup here. The Stanley Cup has
crazy?
Come through here. Like, you think about that. That is, when you think about the Youngstown boy and Sean Pregavon,
that you'll never get it out of
success.
Yep, went to
huge success.
Youngstown Wilson, and you know who he's buddies with. We'll throw a little dab at him. Scott Rourke.
Oh, we know
and
that
him
guy
are very close. They come out here a lot, but I think that's the most amazing factor for me. Youngstown people drive here. He talked with us. Doesn't have a whole lot of advertisement. Invited YSN out. We're thrilled to come in and make a connection when he sends us out to all the great high schools in PA. Let's be honest. We're looking to make a pitch. We want to be YSN in PA and cover some of these great high schools that don't get the coverage like maybe that we're able to do for Ohio people.
Mohawk's in.
Yes, Mohawks there. They're the first ones. We want more.
The code is cracked. So if you're out there, you're a PA school, you're a PA player, let's go.
It costs you nothing.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. And you get this great stuff. Now, Steve, I don't know if you know this. I didn't share this with you. 436,000 views on Friday.
436,000 views.
That's views, okay? So don't get it mad. It's not views. That means that more than 100,000 people were on our website.
And that's awesome.
And that's what you want.
A tribute to you, Brian, our core group, all our announcers. It's a vision that you had 6 years ago, and I can't thank you enough for that vision, for what you do, for everybody we have. But the opportunities that I get to spend with you are quality. We don't get to spend much time during the week because we're split. But I know you feel like I do. Being split means that we're headed where we want to be. We're not where we want, no doubt. We need more great sponsors like we have, and we thought that this was a solid opportunity to introduce the Sports Grill in Cranberry to YSN and be a part of their family.
We are excited. Again, we will have Rocco Turner with us. We will have Nick Pregabon. We will have Sean Pregabon, all live interviews when we come back on the YSN Primetime Special live from the Sports Grill here in Cranberry.
I support police funding, securing our borders, and parental rights in education. I'm attorney Mark Hanni, the only Republican running for the 7th District Court of Appeals. I will always follow the law.
Paid for by the committee to elect Mark Hanni judge. Dave Johnson, chairman.
Fall is in the air. The kids are back to school, crowds are cheering for the home team, and Myers Family Insurance is prepped for another crazy Medicare season. Every year there's changes, some big, some small, so it's important to have a conversation to make sure your plan is going to meet your expectations for the coming year. Give our team a call today to schedule your annual review.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance or visit us on the web. Check us out online at myersfamilyins.com.
Locally owned and operated, Sheely's relaxed shopping experience means browsing and lounging is always encouraged.
Find Flex Deal and more at Sheely's Furniture and Appliance, because the best things in life happen at home.
I'm Mark Hanai, a conservative Republican. I believe in family values, the Second Amendment, and our Constitution. Vote for the only Republican running for the 7th District Court of Appeals. Protect your rights. Vote Hanai for judge.
All right, welcome back to the Sports Grill live here in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. It's so hard for me not to say Ohio, right? Because we've been doing this in Ohio every time we do it live. But we are in the Keystone State, and I'm joined by one of the guys that I love the most, the guy that we go back with. And we're going to share some stories. Sean Pregabon, the owner of the Sports Grill here in Cranberry. Sean, we talked about it. You're a local guy, a local legend in case of an entrepreneur like myself. You made the jump from obviously Youngstown to Pennsylvania. To keep that kind of Youngstown chip on your shoulder, the kid from Youngstown, what did that mean to you to make that jump from one state to another and have the same success, if not more, over here? Because that's not an easy jump to make.
Well, yeah, and great question, DJ. Thanks. And first, let me say thank you and welcome to Cranberry, both of you.
Yeah, baby.
Thrilled to be here, no doubt.
You know, I see you guys all over town because we still live in Youngstown. But I was joking with Steve earlier when we reached out a few months back and started talking about doing a show here. When we first opened here in Cranberry, it was September 28th, 2012, but it was 10 years ago. So we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary in Cranberry, over 10 years in Youngstown. So a total of about, over 2 decades in the restaurant business. So, but the first week we opened, Steve was back at that corner table.
Scott Rourke and the crew.
Yeah, Scott Rourke, one of my buddies. I played golf with Scott at the Lake Club a few weeks back, and I see him all the time. Actually, and props to his son Colton, who's the quarterback for Springfield.
Yeah, they had a phenomenal season.
Yeah, kind of abruptly came to an end the other night, but we're great buddies. We went to Woodrow Wilson High School together. So, but Steve was here 10 years ago. One of the first week we opened, unannounced. We had no advertising, and as he said earlier this morning, there was a line out the door.
Oh my gosh!
And these Cranberry folks, they've welcomed us with open arms. They knew about my concept. A lot of them had been to the old place on South Avenue and the original place in the Boardman Plaza. And unbeknownst to me, because back at that time I was working, and I had to, as you know, DJ, starting your own business, 120, 140 hours a week. Your eyes are bleeding.
He'll take 120 if you can get him to 120 for all the time he puts in a day.
Right. Your parents call you crazy and they don't understand it. And, you cry every night with your wife and you have no money and you literally put everything on the line. And now I consult and I'm a mentor for a lot of guys getting started. And I said, as my mentors did for me, they said, unless you're willing to sleep on the sidewalk, don't even think about it.
Yep.
And it clicked with me what that meant one day. And me and my wife and our future family, we were willing to do that to start the business. And all the guys back in Youngstown, great buddies of mine that own the local spots, Carana and Cafe Capri and Albie and Joey Cassis and all these guys, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
I just made a conscious decision. And Pittsburgh, DJ, going back to your question, was everyone told me I was crazy, but it was a natural transition for me. My dad, where I actually learned to cook, my parents got divorced when I was in 3rd grade. So in our house, if you were hungry, my mom was working 3 jobs to support us, me and my sister. If you were hungry in our house, you had to cook it.
Yeah.
So in 3rd grade, growing up, I was making, macaroni and cheese and French toast and making breakfast for my sister, watching Saturday morning cartoons back in the day. So I tell people this, but in 4th grade home economics class at St. Matthias Grade School, I made our entire class French toast because I knew how to make French toast in 4th grade. And it's still to my this day, one of my favorites. So moving to Pittsburgh from Youngstown, my dad moved to Pittsburgh after they separated. And so he lived in Oakmont, Fox Chapel, the last 25, 30 years here in Gibsonia, right up the street. So I've been coming to Cranberry and the Pittsburgh market most of my life, so very familiar with it. And, of course, the sports. And, I mean, it's one of the sports capitals I think it is. Of the world.
It doesn't get the recognition that I feel it should get.
Yeah, and and we came to town. It's the Steelers. In Youngstown, you think Steelers, Pittsburgh, and quickly they told me it's the Penguins are number one, Steelers, Pirates. But look, World Series. We just had the Phillies in the World Series last night. It didn't go their way, but I mean, great representation. The Steelers fans, and as we talked about before the show, guys, within 10 miles of this restaurant in Cranberry, we have the 5 of the top elite high schools in the area. We have Seneca Valley. We have Pine Richland right up the street. We have Allegheny High School. We have Mars High School. We have North Catholic High School, which is, the Cardinal Mooney of Cranberry.
Right.
And we've been a little lucky too. I'll talk about that for a brief second.
Sure.
But when we moved here 10 years ago, 2 years after we opened, a guy named Mario Lemieux.
Who?
He's pretty good. Didn't he win a cup or a few?
Pretty good golfer, right? Is that what he does?
He is a good golfer. So he decided to build 2 miles up the road from us here in Cranberry, a state-of-the-art, brand new Penguins practice facility, double ice rink, that they have local tournaments and traveling teams, and all the Penguin players have moved out here to Cranberry. So we get a lot of them in the building. We've got a great relationship with the team.
That's awesome.
Do a lot of sponsorship. I told you earlier, right before COVID, when they won the back-to-back Stanley Cups in their private event room here, we had the team and the guy with the tuxedo come in with the white gloves, and we had the cup here 2 years in a row.
They didn't let you hold it, did they? I would hope that they.
I learned quickly that you can't kiss it.
No,
unless you're a player or a coach.
Come on, this is the center of attention right here. The Sports Grill. You should kiss it.
We snuck in a few smooches.
That's good to hear.
But I wanted to, pour some beer on the top and drink, but they certainly wouldn't let us do that. But he built a $75 million state-of-the-art hockey arena right up the street. A year after that, North Catholic High School just built. They moved from the city and built a $55 million state-of-the-art high school up the street from us. So as the newspaper article said this week, as my son Nick is behind us with the Cardinal Mooney soccer team, he had 3 goals, a hat trick the other night.
Awesome. We'll get to Nick. I
Proud
can't wait
Papa
to talk
right
to him.
here.
That's a proud Papa.
Yeah.
He's sporting it, which he should. We'll get to that. State semifinals. That's awesome.
Yeah, but right place, right time. So you could argue the same thing with my business. But I wasn't afraid to come here to Cranberry. It took a lot, but I thought it was just the natural progression of my business. Boardman Plaza, a couple years. South Avenue, 10 years. And now Cranberry for 10 years. And again, I've just chose to run my restaurant like a business. I've got a great team of managers and staff behind us here, behind the wall. The property is magnificent. We're close to everything, the highway, the arteries, with 76 and 79 right here. So we're very accessible and easy to get to. The Dick's Sportplex you see off the freeway coming in is only 2 miles down the road. A lot of great golf courses. We support the local high schools here. With Seneca Valley, we feed the teams, the athletic directors. We just had the Freedom girls soccer team. They won their championship. They were here Friday night in this room here with all the girls, the trophy, the coaches, feeding the team, and they wanted to come here after their championship game. So neat for us. And then for Youngstown, as you see around the building, especially in the dining room, we still have, there's the Youngstown State football helmet hanging at the host stand. Coach Narduzzi from Youngstown, Ursuline, his helmet is signed in the front cabinet. Him and his family are here probably once a month. We had his son's graduation party here. And all the local Youngstown football helmets are in the dining room. So the Mooney, the Struthers, Ursuline, everybody's in the dining room. And we're still representing Youngstown. After 10 years here, this is the really cool and funny thing, is everyone still to this day, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 tables from Youngstown every day because they come here to Cranberry to shop or see a game or play a hockey game or anything like that. And they're traveling through, and again, the main arteries with the freeways here. So I'll get texts and calls often, or I'll see somebody here that I haven't seen in a while. Hey, we want to come check out the new place. I'm like, the new place?
Yeah.
I'm like, we've been here 10 years.
Yeah.
And everyone, it blows their mind. They're like, 10 years? There's no way. Like, we just remember being on South Avenue or in the Boardman Plaza eating bacon ranch fries or watching an Ohio State game or the big Buckeye parties we used to have. Speaking of which, I mean, obviously Penn State and Pitt are huge here. But we have an affiliation with the Pittsburgh Ohio State Alumni Association.
Okay.
They come here and watch the games. We have the Florida Gators Alumni Association.
wow.
That's awesome.
And as we talked about, Cranberry is such a transient area where people from all over the country have moved here with their families or relocated for the jobs here in Pittsburgh. So with 47 TVs here and the NFL Sunday Network, we don't just play Steelers. We have a Browns backers group, 20 or 30 guys every week with the dog masks on. They come in to watch the Browns games. We have Buffalo playing. We have Buffalo guys sitting at the bar right now. Dallas Cowboy fans, San Diego Charger fans, Seattle Seahawks. They come here to watch their games.
Place gets rowdy.
Yeah. So it's not just Steelers and it's not just Browns. We're all fans of different sports and different teams.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to respect that. And we're one of the few places in Pittsburgh that you can come to because the Steelers Nation is strong and very loyal.
Yeah.
And a lot of restaurant bars in this area will only play a Steelers game. And I understand that, but we don't.
Well, with fantasy football, it's huge to have opportunities for everybody to see every game, and see their guys. They're rooting for the Steelers, obviously, but there might be somebody in a different game that is the difference between, I don't know, and we can talk about gambling because we're in Pennsylvania, $100 and $200.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. So it's really, evolved, not only my restaurant and, again, congratulations to your success.
Thank you.
And the courage to willing to sleep on the sidewalk.
Yes, sir.
You know that. And Steve, congratulations to your success.
Yes, sir.
In your role with the company. And again, we're all here supporting the kids, the families, the schools, the athletes, the coaches, the grades. Let's not forget grades. We'll talk about that with these kids behind me too. But that's so important. And in sports, oftentimes it gets overlooked. But the GPA for these kids and the academic standards that all of these schools, not only in Pittsburgh, Western PA, and Ohio, but everywhere have, very important for these young men and women to, have the family culture and the acumen and the grades to move on to the next level, whether it's D1 or D3 or wherever you're going in life. You got to take the classes and got to have the smarts behind it because, as as a business owner, you're not just a cook or a radio host or a show host. You got to do the books. You got to talk to people. You have to communicate. You have to raise a family. You have to find time. You have to compartmentalize all of these things in your life that make up your business.
So let me ask,
not just one specialty.
Off of that, everybody always asks me, okay, well, the CEO of YSN, whatever, right? I got into this because I loved sports broadcasting. I love sports in general. I never got into it to be a business owner. I had a 2.4 GPA in high school. I love the broadcast side of it, but I had to learn everything else on the fly. Still learning every day. Do you still feel like that?
Well, for a lot of people don't know this about me, but I have my degrees in accounting with a minor in economics and finance. So I'm a numbers guy. I was an accountant and an auditor. I worked for Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter back in the day. I was 5 years. I was a stockbroker, financial advisor.
Incredible.
And accounting was too boring for me. It was too mundane. And then I did state auditing. And then finally, I can be a financial advisor. A good friend of mine, Todd Burry, he started his financial company, another Mooney guy. Mm-hmm. Todd just texted me last night. Congratulations. He's a great guy. I golf with him once a week at the Lake Club, but great guy. But I was like, okay, this is it. I can now talk to people and use my math skills and all that stuff. But unfortunately, my birthday, 9/11, September 11th, the stock market crashed. And obviously the tragic event that happened, 3,000 Americans lost their lives, really changed the world. And my next paycheck after my birthday was $200 for the month.
Oh.
And then in November, the following was another $200 for the month. The stock market the world was in shambles. We had just got married. We had just bought our house and, had no money. And we just didn't know what to do. But, through high school and college, I worked in restaurants. We had a vision. My wife's, God bless her and her family, Manning Engraving.
Yeah, absolutely. The best trophy place around, no doubt.
Trophy and engraving. So they knew all the coaches and athletic directors in the area. I knew restaurant. I said, let's put together a sports-themed restaurant. I really don't like the word sports bar, and we're not. It's a sports-themed restaurant with homemade food, local food, support the local athletes, coaches, athletic directors. Before you know it, we were willing to sleep on the sidewalk again. That's the third time I said it, but it's the truth. Willing to cry every night and have no money. And and for the dream, the passion, not the success and the rewards and what comes if you work hard enough and you're successful. We weren't even thinking about that. You're just thinking about surviving. But sharing a good idea that you think you have with other people was really the root of our start. And then along the way, I've had and met great mentors in my life. Eddie Reese, Denise DeBartolo York, John York, Ed Moransky, Jimmy Tressel. I mean,
that's a good list.
Yeah, that's a pretty good list.
Yeah, I'll start crying. But all these people have entered my life. Coach Bob Mansfield, who I talk to every single day. I'm a lucky kid. And again, just willing to work hard. No one's perfect. We all make mistakes. But you filter through information. You work hard, and as long as you're willing, in Youngstown, as we all know, roll up your sleeves and go to work every day, and not listen to the people that say you're crazy or you can't make it or you can't do it or you're too young or whatever it is, whatever excuse. But I'm a very stubborn, hard-headed guy, poor kid from the south side of Youngstown, and I've learned to listen to people that have done it and that are way smarter than me. And I just put the work ethic in. I'm not afraid to work. You guys at the table and these kids.
Oh, yeah.
And the coaches.
Yeah, they don't get the credit that they deserve.
And it's the Youngstown grit. And I see, and I know that's here in Western PA, and I see it with their coaches, their kids, their athletic directors, their families. And these Cranberry families are just like Youngstown people. Just like you and I, mom and dad working 2 jobs, working hard. They got 2 or 3 kids, the dog, the picket fence, and they're not afraid to work and work hard. And we're here to celebrate the victories and sometimes the losses and put the games on for them where they're going to enjoy good homemade food, not your typical sports bar food with all the fried stuff, but a great menu selection, great outdoor entertainment. We were talking earlier with our patio expansion. We have some 3,200 square feet outside on the patio.
We're going to have to check this out come one summer night. Yeah.
Sound stage and all that. And again, credit to our staff and our managers who are behind the scenes and they work. And now with all these football games and playoff games with Nick kicking for the football team.
How about that, Deej? Kick for the football team and play in the soccer semis. That's pretty good.
Busy just like that.
Yeah, busy just like that.
And we got Rocco Turner here, who state championship, and he's playing basketball now. Yeah. And Coach Palermo at Mooney is patiently waiting for my son to finish soccer and football so he could join the basketball.
They're pretty good, too.
Yeah, not a bad thing. And I just wanted to say to both of you, first of all, congratulations on 22 years, 20 years here. Amazing. The thing that I'm most impressed with you about is Youngstown's always in you. You live in Youngstown. You brought a great business here to all our YSN fans. Come on out. You will not be disappointed in the food or the atmosphere. But I want to ask you, that's why I love the connection with you, because I look at DJ a lot like I did you. I thought he was, I'll be the first one to say, I thought he was crazy 6 years ago. He's like, I have 4 schools. I think I said, you're crazy. Can you help me get some schools? I want to promote kids. I want to be that guy that for the smaller schools that didn't get the Vindicator coverage or whoever it was. He's done that. I think the biggest thing for me, DJ, that I want to say, you two have such strong minds and people don't understand. And you said it best. It's not as easy as you think it is, number one, for a YSN, for a sports grill. But for all those people in Cranberry, from all of us at YSN and those schools, we'd love to be a part of your community. We love to be a part of your school and promote kids. Sean, you said that the best, to promote your son Nick in a state soccer semifinal, to promote, let's be honest, Rocco Turner, state champion in golf. That is outstanding, and that's what we do. But from your end, the food is off the charts. But you and Carrie, to me, brought Youngstown to Cranberry, and Cranberry has embraced you totally, which they should. So from DJ and myself, as we let you go, thanks for the hospitality. We cannot wait to eat the food. Thanks for helping us promote YSN, but we're going to promote the Sports Grill in Cranberry the best that we can because you're top notch.
Well, thank you very much. It's, you're going to have some great food today. I'm going to bring out the strawberry ribs, which are Jim Trussel's favorite. Hey, let's I'd be remiss.
Yeah, you have to talk food here. Please, for your last.
Well, and first of all, congratulations to Coach Doug.
Yes.
Coach Doug got
on the plane with them. It was a happy flight home. It was a great call by Rob Schmidt. That's a football team that you talk about. Cranberry people are gritty. Yeah. Youngstown State football is a gritty group that people are starting take a look at.
Yeah, so he and Coach Mike Tomczak were here a couple months back, but they love the strawberry ribs.
Okay.
Trestle's favorite strawberry ribs. You're going to have those. We got our bacon ranch fries, which have that homemade garlic ranch dressing.
And that's still a staple from the Glenwood days.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody from Youngstown, as soon as they sit down at a table, they order the bacon ranch fries, and the women usually get the chicken salad with the garlic ranch.
Yeah, Jen's over there, I think, eating chicken salad right now. Grace looks
Look
like
at that smile.
she's on the smiles. Hey, you made her happy. She's a Bills fan. She's from Buffalo, so she'll be able to watch a little bit of the Bills here.
Right,
Cannot thank you enough for number one. And I know DJ will end with you with this, believing in us as a family, as someone that has a son, Mr. Turner here with his kids. That warms my heart to get up on a Sunday and come to Cranberry and promote YSN and promote great people like you guys. DJ, you could close it up with them, but what a great experience.
No, I'm so proud to be here, Sean. We've talked many, many, many times and passed in many different directions because I want to be in the circles you're in, and we're in there. And you talk about the list of people that you have, and you're in that list for me, like guys that I can look to and ask, because you've been there, you've done that. And in business, to me, what I found out is it's a lot like sports. It's the ultimate sport, because guys like us, I was a catcher for umpteen years. You lose your knees, but you don't lose your passion for stuff. So I found the business side of things, and naturally everybody just found us, because you're in it for the right reasons. You're in it to give people a great sit down meal, one that they can be proud of, that nourishes their body. They can go on and do what they do on a daily basis. And that's what we try to do at YSN. We try to promote these kids. And like you'll see, and you've already seen, we're going to let these kids talk about, their role models, their heroes and stuff like that. The X's and O's are great, but the Jimmy and Joes are better than that.
Yeah. And so thank you for the compliment. It's
You're a legend, dude.
Not necessary. And well, it's very humbling, but again, it's just working hard every day. I had a meeting with the Pittsburgh Penguins some 8 years ago, and we were looking at doing another location down at the arena. And with Mario again moving his facility out here, I'm like, there's no need to do that now.
Nope.
So, but anyway, we're in the basement of the arena in the boardroom with all the Penguins management staff, general manager at the time. Travis was grown to be a great friend of mine. He's with the Pirates now, but just those connections. And they asked me, they said, well, what are you good at? What's your restaurant good at? And, the quick answer for most people is like, wings or food or whatever it is. And I didn't even think about it. I said hospitality.
Sure.
And that's the passion. So the passion that gets you out of bed every morning at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. And a lot of those guys I referenced earlier, and Steve, it's the passion for doing what you do and us doing what we do. And it's, oftentimes throughout our 22 years, people see my car out there at 4 a.m. or wherever in Youngstown and Pittsburgh. And I get a text, what are you doing there? And I'm like, well,
it's my job.
Inventory, bookwork, paperwork, spreadsheets, the numbers got to work, all these things. Like everyone just thinks you open at 11 o'clock and the food comes out.
Yep.
And it's like the magic trick, right?
That's incredible.
Well, everything behind the scenes goes into that. But with hospitality, it's the TVs and the right station, and they're all high def Samsung. There's not like a LG anywhere.
Right.
They're all consistent. Our staff, the uniforms, the smiles,
consistency,
the cleanliness.
I love that word.
The bathrooms, we have fresh flowers in the lobby every single day, fresh flowers in the women's restroom every single day. And these things cost money, and it you have to pay attention to it. But it's a little OCD, a little passion, a little
crazy
ambition, crazy. You have to be crazy to work for yourself. And I could sit here and talk all day, so I don't want to bore you guys.
No.
But hospitality for us, the clean tables, the nice furniture, the reinvestment, because once you get going, it's not over.
Nope.
You got to keep going. And another John Antonucci, owner of Superior Beverage, another one of my mentors and heroes, and a guy I look up to, took me down to Muirfield. These experiences I've been able to have are great, but took me down to Muirfield Golf Course, and we golfed one day, and beautiful sunshine day. We walked off the first tee. It was a beautiful sunshine day, not a cloud in the sky. And I looked at his son-in-law, Kurt McCammon, who's a great friend of mine.
Palestine boy?
Yep. Palestine boy, and the Jerry McGee connection, his brother Stan at the Lake Cup.
Yep.
Just great people. I looked at Kurt, and I said, I felt like I just won a game show prize.
Yeah.
And talk about a lucky kid, but we did that. But John sat with me. We went back to the clubhouse, Jack's clubhouse, after we had nice steak dinner afterwards. And I asked him, I said, is there anything you could tell me about your business and your success that And again, I think we were just on South Avenue there for a year or two. So we were only about 4 years into my business. He said, Sean, one thing I'll tell you. He said, keep it fresh. Now, in a restaurant, you're thinking about fresh food. He goes, no, keep it fresh. Keep their eyes moving.
Sure.
Keep it sharp. Change. Do things. And I'm getting goosebumps, but I knew exactly what that meant.
I'm getting goosebumps too.
And I'm sure his mind's spinning right now and thinking things.
And in life and in business, and I think a lot of those guys I mentioned, and I won't speak for them, but if you stay complacent and you just think that, you're on top and, the wind blows harder at the top of the mountain. And I'm not saying on top of the mountain, but you have to keep moving and changing and evolving your concept, your theme, your work ethic, your staff, your people around you, your family as life goes on. And that's one thing I can say to everybody listening, and hopefully it helps, maybe an aspiring entrepreneur or these kids out here and coaches and athletic directors and certainly yourself. And again, I don't know it all, but I've been very lucky, again, as a poor kid growing up on the south side of Youngstown, as I just saw a Boom Boom at Alberini's the other night, at Ray Mancina. All of these guys, the Stoops guys, Ron was at my house last night. He sat at this table on a recruiting trip for a while. We were eating fried bologna here. Yeah. We named our fried bologna sandwich a couple years back, maybe 5 years ago now. I renamed it the Mansfield, because when me and Bobby Mansfield would meet at the Lake Club, we would have a fried bologna sandwich, and now he likes it with fried egg on top and American cheese and hot peppers. Our fried bologna on the menu is called the Mansfield. So keep it moving, keep it changing. Don't get complacent, and always think that someone's chasing you, because if you want to be on the top, you got to stay on top. You got to get there, and once you're there, you're not there.
If you want to be number one, you got to train like you're number two, right? That's what I've always been told.
Yeah, and that translates to these kids. Rocco and Nick behind me here. They start off at St. Charles together years ago, and me and Mr. Turner, Dan, we've become great friends. We go on trips together to support each other. And Dan's one of those guys. We were at the Mooney football game at Norwayne the other night. And I'll say this about Mooney and not only just Mooney, but Youngstown. We go there, and it's a home game for Norwayne the other night. Mm-hmm. Their stands, you could have counted them. There's maybe 200 people. The visitor stands,
filled.
An hour and 30-minute drive. Cardinal Mooney, red, gold, and white. We probably had 500 people there. And Dan and Rocco and Turner and their kids aren't on the team. They go to school there. They drove. In fact, they passed us on the freeway. You can't make this stuff up. It's great. But the support, the Youngstown people, the work ethic, all these guys, the Stoops boys, Moransky, Boom, I don't know, Rick Blaze, another one of those guys that supports Youngstown football. And all, we can go on and list all these guys. And they're just guys you want to be like, or you want to emulate their success. And to get there, you have to have the work ethic, because they didn't just get lucky. No one gets that lucky all the time.
No,
they worked hard. We work hard, and maybe we're the next generation, or they're certainly the next generation of doing it. And no matter what you like, you have to have the passion for it, whatever business, whatever industry it is. And I found mine here in the restaurant business. Who would have thought? You found yours. Just, hey, I got an idea. Let's go. And then you have to have the support with the family and your surrounding friends and inner circle. And then hopefully, you put in the effort and the work, and you grow from there. So, but not being afraid to sleep on the sidewalk is
I love that comment.
Certainly important.
I love that comment. That's a great way to end it. DJ, I know you love that comment.
I could sit and talk to Sean for 8 hours here. It's one of those things. I'm just picking things away. But thank you so much for your time. Thanks for inviting us here and having
we're proud
us.
To be a part of your
we're
place
so
now,
excited.
absolutely.
So thank you very much.
Glad to have you guys.
We're going to talk to your kid a little bit. I think he's got a little to say. So we'll be back right after this on this Primetime Live special edition, Sunday edition, live from the Sports Grill here in Cranberry. Back after this.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Flynn. Hi, this is Steve Rossetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
Jimmy Sutman here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and two of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Reliability, innovation, scale. These three values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Mill Creek Metro Parks is your park for all seasons. Make a memory in the park. Plan your visit today at millcreekmetroparks.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we offer a worry-free experience for all our customers. From sales to financing and even service, we'll help build your perfect vehicle
and lock in your trade value
while your vehicle is being built.
No worries.
We guarantee financing,
regardless of your situation or credit history.
No worries. And when your vehicle needs service,
our award-winning team will get you back on the road.
No worries.
That's what going the extra mile means. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at myersfamilyins.com or find us on Facebook.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa.
And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing.
Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships.
We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team.
Your goals, our game plan.
Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
All right, and welcome back to this YSN Prime Time Sunday Special live from the Sports Grill here in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. DJ Yoakley, Steve Leslie, and we're joined by not just a one sport, not just a two sport, a three sport? Mm-hmm. Three sport athlete from Cardinal Mooney, a guy that, I don't know, Steve, it's going to be a pretty busy week for this young man.
Yeah, it's a pretty busy week, for no doubt, for Nick, for sure.
Nick Pregabon of the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals soccer and the kicker for football. For you, like when you laid your head down last night, like what are you thinking about? Like this week is going to be like for you, because I know you plan ahead. What is this like? The excitement going through you right now has to be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's super exciting. It's great that both teams are winning, especially after last year with football. You know, coming back from a really bad record, and we're like on an underdog season. While in soccer, like we're a great team with great players. And like we're the favorites, so you get the like best of both worlds.
And underdog and the favorite. I like that. Yeah. Which one do you treasure more? All right. Do you like being the underdog? You like being the favorite?
I mean, it's cool to be the favorite, but I mean the underdog is better. You got nothing to lose. You're out there. But regardless of whatever situation you're in, you just got to go out there, take it one game at a time, and just win.
So I'll ask you some of the same questions I asked your teammates the other night. I mean, you guys kind of had now. You've had an unbelievable just roller coaster season, right? Your teammates have been through a lot. We talk about Ty and what he's been through, and obviously the Pelini tragedy in the middle of the season. What's it been like for you, not just maybe just from the school perspective or being around your band of brothers, to kind of have to lead from the background? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because let's face it, everybody looks at a kicker, they go, okay, you're a soccer player that just happens to play football. How do you handle that, and how do you support from a standpoint of being that guy?
Yeah, I'm the kicker. No one like sees me as like a great football player, but they all trust me. They all have respect for me.
That's it,
which
respect,
is good.
right?
Yeah. So like regardless, like not just kicking, but on the sidelines, I try to keep everyone like the energy up.
Keep it
like
light.
if we're down, like keep the energy up, like get everyone going, giving people like pats on the back, like saying great job, just being positive and like bringing our like from soccer, we're a great winning team. Like we've also had a big roller coaster from the past 2
Yep.
years being state runners up. We know what it's like to win, but we also know what it's like to lose because last year we finished way short of what we wanted it to.
Yeah.
So just bringing like that culture over to the football, to help bring everyone up, just do whatever you can to help everyone out.
All right, so I got to tell you, I was a kicker when I was in high school as well. But I was like a kicker / offensive defensive lineman.
yeah.
Like we don't have that. So, but I got to tell you,
Uh-huh.
one of the best things about being a kicker is nobody notices you until they
Yeah.
need you.
Yeah.
And then when you hit that field goal, that extra point that you need, you're everybody's best friend.
Yeah.
What's that like to go from being the guy that, oh my gosh, if he misses it, you're the GOAT. If you win it, you're the greatest of all time GOAT.
Yeah, it's just when you go out on the field, like you kick the football, like you're the man out there for that play, but you just got to keep it cool, keep it composed, and what helps is that you just think of everyone watching you. You might have like the away team, like all their fans screaming at you.
Yep.
But you think back to like your family on the sidelines, your football family, like your mom and dad. You have everyone that trusts you. They put you out on that field for a reason. So, it helps cool the nerves, and you just go out there and kick it and then make the shot and then think next play.
So quarterbacks talk about their offensive line all the time, right? Quarterbacks and running backs. You have to talk about your holder and your long snapper because they are integral to what you do.
Yeah, our holders, Nolan Rudinsky held.
Best hands.
Got pretty good hands.
And, and Cam Sweeney also held a lot last year and
the doc.
a little bit this year. Yeah, the doc. And, they're great holders. They ask me questions like how I like the football to be held. They're all in it. They do whatever I want to do.
Yep.
They're very trustworthy. And George, our long snapper, he practices every day. He's very into it. And, I have two guys I could trust, and they make the job way easier for me.
And they trust you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this soccer team. You guys are doing unbelievable. Obviously, probably still coming off that high of getting to the state semifinals. You got Ottawa Hills coming up.
Ottawa Hills, 7:00 in Sandusky.
Now, there is
Wednesday.
a local tie a little bit to Ottawa Hills because Vinny Ballone's cousins played for Ottawa Hills, I
Okay.
understand.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. We still want you to win, okay? But have respect because there is some Youngstown ties. For you to be in a state semifinal game and have your eyes literally just placed on a state championship, what would it mean to you to carry that trophy back home? I don't want to get you too far ahead, but at the same time, you got to have one eye on that and the other eye on the prize, right?
Yeah, I mean, it would mean everything. Like all of our hard work, all we've been through. Like I said earlier, like we got so close my freshman year, and then last year we were short. And, last year, like it just fuels us to go as hard as we can, to play with our heart. We learn to play with passion, just grind through everything. And like with the football coaches too, and like all the staff at Mooney, like we're trying to put Mooney like back on the map. Like we've had some bad seasons here and there, but the old Mooney, everyone's still there watching us, and we want to be just like them. Put Mooney back on the map, have everyone respect us. And, it all starts with, the sports, football, soccer. We got Rocco winning state.
Yep.
He did the first step for us, and now we just got to follow it up and, just keep winning. But we got to take it one game at a time.
Feels like the tradition's back.
There is.
The tradition.
There's a couple things that I love right here. Number one, your family. I've known a long time. Phenomenal people, and you represent your family well. He said a few things for me. As a Mooney alum,
Yep.
Mooney will always be on the map. I love this trend for these kids to chase and get Mooney on the map. Mooney will always be on the map because of people that we sit with, the people that I played with, that I coached with, the Bo Pellinis, the Vince Morrows, the Stoops family. I can name them all. And DJ, I'm so proud to say I'm from Mooney, and I would not be able to sit here and do what I do without graduating from Cardinal Mooney. So I shout out to you guys. I want – Mooney expects championships, let's be honest. And this team, I think, can win a state championship. But for me, the best thing about Nick, 3 sports. We talk about this all the time. I love it. You're invested in football, spend time kicking, a great soccer player on a great team. Coach Palermo, who I coached, I'm sure is waiting patiently for basketball to come. We've lost that in today's society. 3 sports, generalization. We talk about it. You talk about it, specialization all the time. You talk about it on the shows. For you, I want to ask you, how hard is it? Because I know how hard Cardinal Mooney is academically. Where do you find time for that? And my last question for you, DJ, can any young man be in a better place in the state semifinal on Wednesday night and then play in the regional semifinal against undefeated South Range?
You talk about 3 sports, Steve, but let's talk about 3 goals for this guy.
Right.
I mean, we ask baseball players, right? When you're hitting, 500, 800, and you're hitting home runs, is the baseball look like a beach ball? Like when you're a soccer player, you're in the zone. You were in the zone. Talk about what that was like for you from your standpoint to just be one after the other after the other. You get the Hattie, man. What was it like?
It just feels unreal sometimes, but in the zone. But that hat trick, it's not just for me; it's from the whole team. Look
at this guy.
Love it.
Look at Dad's smile.
Dad's smiling away, and you should be.
It all started, with Aiden Markey, the goalkeeper. He made 2 tremendous saves in the beginning of the game. Without him saving those shots, I probably wouldn't have scored those, or it could have been a completely different game. So it all started with the defense, and then the midfield, clamping down their whole team, and just building it out the back, and then crossing it in, and just finishing the play. And this year we want to go 3 for 3 in all sports. State championship, soccer, football, and then basketball. We know we have potential.
44-yard field goal.
It's there,
correct? The 44-yarder. So add that to the list. Pretty good jumper. We'll get with Rocco and see how he rates Nick's jump shot. But again, Cardinal Mooney, I want to ask you. I know the Sports Grill to you, Cranberry, for your family, has to be a part of your extended family to come here, I'm sure, often.
Home away from home.
Well, yeah. What do you take from family life and your parents to see how hard they work? Let's be honest. Grace goes to Ursuline. I know the sacrifices Julie and I make to send our daughter to a Catholic school. Catholic schools sometimes get a bad rap. I'm all for it for DJ, for kids like we sit with here. How important, talk about your family a little bit and how important they are.
You're the most important thing to me. My dad, he's worked really hard for the Sports Grill, starting out with nothing. He tells me all about it when I get in trouble. I
he was never in trouble. I don't think. Yeah, remember those.
Yeah, but, they work really hard. My mom, she owns a trophy shop. She's from Mooney, too. She works really hard. She does whatever she can to help Mooney out, too. Same with my father. And, I just have to try my best in everything I do, from making field goals to scoring goals to scoring some buckets. I just
see the smile on his face when he said buckets.
Who gets to talk about 3 sports? Seriously. And let's be honest and be good at all 3. A 44-yard field goal, that's nothing to.
No, there's a team in Cleveland that would love to have you right now. There's a team in Cleveland.
We wasted a draft pick on one of those guys. We'll take you right now at 44 yards. I just love it that he brings, from a student standpoint, I guess, and Sean probably is thrilled with that he can be a high school student to come here and probably meet, hopefully, students that will someday meet at YSN. For you, a YSN question, because we love to hear from our student athletes. That's what DJ created this company for. How special is it for you to get the opportunity to talk Nick Pregabone and your teammates? How special is that from a YSN standpoint?
It's really special. I don't know what to say, but something some people, I guess, dream of. Like, just getting like a student athlete, getting a little interview. But it doesn't happen much, especially around our area. But, you guys are making it happen, and it makes it feel even better. A lot of us have our own stories we want to share with other people. And,
Love it.
yeah, it feels really special, like, with everyone here.
You said it, man. You guys have your own stories. What's the story of yours? Like, what's the story you want people to remember about, when you leave Cardinal Mooney, you want people to remember about you?
How we could bring back the tradition of Mooney, I guess. Like, our class, like, I guess me, Rocco, all the other people from soccer, football, basketball, the girls' teams, you know, we have a really good class, and we just want to bring that tradition of excellence back. And then, like, when we have kids, our kids grow up, Mooney's there.
Yep.
And then if they keep going with the tradition, we might create of winning. It would be really cool to look back on that and have people like remember us.
Two last questions for you, Nikki. So the first one I got to ask you, we've been talking about you being a 3-sport athlete. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have a game-winning goal, a game-winning field goal, or a game-winning bucket to have the highlight of your life, right? When your kids someday are looking at it and saying, my dad did that, which one would you like to have and why?
I mean, I would like to say all three. But
You could say all three.
No, put them on the spot.
No, but we're going to put you on the spot. Absolutely.
I don't know. Shoot, I don't know. That's a tough one. Maybe a game-winning goal.
Yes.
Because, like, goals in soccer, like, they're much harder to be, like, they're, like, worth more, I guess, than a bucket in basketball.
That's great.
That's a great answer.
That's a great value.
Field goal in
absolutely.
football. It's harder to do. And, like, when you're on that field, you score the game-winning goal, all 11 people, just come running at you. You got the whole crowd screaming.
Well, that's what we want.
Listen, man.
But, I mean,
I know, and that is a great answer.
Yes, it is.
On the spot, great answer. But I can tell you that there's a lot of people that would love to see any one of those
one of the
at
three.
any time.
Mooney fans are choosing for one, but Mooney Nation, Wednesday night, Sandusky, Ottawa Hills. I got a pretty good feeling he's getting a goal Wednesday night. I'm going to go out on the limb. I'm going to say that Cardinal Mooney's going to get a win. And I think I'm going to say right now, Cardinal Mooney is going to win the state championship in soccer.
Make me a promise. If you guys win the state championship, you'll do a sit down with us. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get you all here at the Sports Grill.
Yeah,
we'll do it again.
Yeah, we get the whole team here.
Let's get the whole team here. We'll celebrate here from the Sports Grill. Is that fair? We can do that?
Let's do it.
All right.
Pretty good deal.
That's all right. Last thing I got to ask you is we end all of our interviews with, because we love what you guys do on the field, but off the field, you've had heroes, you've had role models that have gotten you to this point, people that have supported you. Talk about those role models that you have in your life, your family, your friends, the people that have put you on this pedestal.
I think, I have lots of role models in my life. I think my two main role models, or three actually, I guess, are my mom, my dad, my sister, and, like other family members. My dad, he works really hard. He doesn't take anything for granted. My mom is the same thing. And although I have a little sister, I could tell she has that passion in her too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's times where I might beat up on her too much.
Okay.
But
I'm an older brother too. They deserve it.
That happens. That happens.
You gotta toughen them up.
She's a fighter. She fights back. And we're pregabonds. You gotta work hard, and then no matter what happens, no matter what challenges or obstacles in the way, just overcome it. And
Amazing.
Just do whatever you can, do your best.
Nick, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
that's a
Good luck
great
to you.
job. Good
Have
luck.
a great
Let's go.
week.
Good luck. Wednesday? Good luck Friday. And we might as well say good luck Saturday because they're winning Friday and going to Saturday.
We will be back right after this on YSN Special from the Sports Bar.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
All right, welcome back to the Sports Grill here in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. DJ Oakley, Steve Leslie, and we are joined. No, listen, we got to give the "We Are Not Worthy" because he is the state champion in golf, Rocco Turner from Cardinal Mooney. Rocco, thank you so much for joining us here today. And I know you're eating good. I know you're playing well, and you're getting ready for hoop season. But let's talk about golf, man. That last run that you went on. One of the questions that I had. When we were going to have you on. It wasn't a question of would we, it was when we. Going into that last stretch, like towards the state championship, your confidence had to be at an all-time high because I think you knew you were going to win that ship, right?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I had the talent and the ability to do it. It was just putting 2 rounds together when it mattered over all the adversity.
Do you feel like you saved your best rounds for the championship rounds?
Yeah, I mean, because I didn't really shoot a good number at districts, but we made it as a team. So I was kind of, happy to get that round out of the way, but still advance, and then save the good rounds for the end.
So you're talking to a guy that's never had the experience of winning a state championship. What is that feeling like of holding the trophy and knowing you are better than anybody else in the entire state? And if they were to put a national contest together, I think you'd be ranked up there as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, at the beginning, it was kind of like just shock. Like when I walked off the green, there was still a couple kids left, so just trying to, not get too high. And then, but once all the scores came in, and I kind of knew I had it, I was just a little bit shocked, but at the same time, I knew I could do it. So it was kind of just a good feeling to know that you knew you could do it, and then you got the job done on top of it.
You're a mellow dude, right? You are as even keel as it gets. Did you get excited a little bit? Like, did you like a fist pump, like anything? Like, what did you do?
Yeah, I mean, I try to keep my emotions just steady, whether it's a good hole or a bad hole. But I mean, a couple of big putts, I had a couple fist bumps or a couple par saves or birdies that some emotion came out, but then it was right back to even because I knew I had more shots to hit.
What's crazy is I think you're different on the golf course than you are on the basketball floor because you are like an emotional leader out there. You are animated as it gets when there's big things happening. How do you kind of compartmentalize those two things?
I think mostly because golf's kind of more of individual. I mean, our team made it, but you got to focus on your own round. So I just try to kind of not let myself beat up on myself during golf, but in basketball, then try to feed into your teammates and get them going too, and then feed off the energy that coaches and team surrounds you with.
All right, man. We just talked to Nick, and we need you to grade his jumper right now because, I mean, you're the guy, right? You guys are going to make a run. We think in basketball, again, you got a great leader, and you've got some great players in place. Talk about Nick's jumper. Like, can you criticize it a little bit? Can you give it an A, B, C? We'll leave it in those 3 ranges.
No, I think it's an A, but, I mean, he's so athletic, he doesn't even have to rely on his
look
jumper.
at you. Look at him. That's a great teammate.
That's a leader answer right there.
It's a great team. What about your jumper? What do you need to improve on in your game?
Just being more consistent, knock it down like as much as you can.
There's that word again, Steve. Consistency.
Yeah, well, let's talk consistency. My man right here was about as consistent as you can get on a basketball floor. As the former coach at Cardinal Mooney in basketball, Coach Palermo. I want to go back to that. That basketball run was phenomenal to watch on my end as a coach, as somebody that's awful proud of what Carey's doing there. But you were, without doubt, the glue of that basketball team. How fun was that? Because it was a basketball team, DJ, we talked about all the time when the pairings came out, really underlooked, but play a very good schedule.
Sounds really familiar to everything else Mooney does.
That Mooney does. How fun was that run to beat people as the underdog, and then you go into a golf championship, and you said it best, that's an individual, mental, mind-grueling sport.
Mm-hmm.
How exciting were those two experiences?
The basketball, I mean, it was really fun because every game we looked at, we felt that we were never underdogs in our own minds. So we never stepped onto the court being underdogs, and we were always good enough to beat the other team. So it was kind of the outside was just kind of more motivation than anything, that people didn't expect us to beat other teams, and we weren't expected to make that run. But we knew the whole time that we were capable of making runs like that. And I think it started with Coach P in that practice and just feeding the right mindset into us and just buying in and everything.
Grit.
Oh, yeah.
Grit. We talk about it all the time. A Camel Memorial, who we have at YSN, we're awful proud of. Not a whole lot of people other than the people in Cardinal Mooney's locker room thought they were going to win that basketball game, no doubt. You guys are gritty. Talk about some of the things you look forward to now as a senior. You were a leader last year. Now that leadership role goes up for both you and Nick this year. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of established that we were going to step into more of a leadership role this year with graduating 6 seniors last year. But, I mean, I think we're more than capable, and the seniors last year prepared us for this year, and just stepping up and then being more vocal leaders too, and then also in the games lead by example and how you play and how you act while you play that. And then, but I mean, it starts in practice. It starts right now, weeks before the first game.
How do you manage expectations, right? So you wear the block M, you have Mooney across your chest, wherever, on the golf course, you got the hat, the polo. How do you manage expectations to every time you take a floor, every time you take a dribble, every time you take a shot, people are expecting you to be a champion because you wear the M?
Yeah, I think it starts with yourself. If you don't think you could do it, then you're not gonna do it. So once you overcome like yourself and establishing that you can do it, then you kind of just go out and play and let things take care of themselves. And then if you trust yourself and you trust your teammates, things work out a lot better.
Now, everybody knows that you want the state championship, but so does 700 other teams in Ohio, right? What's one of the things that you really want to work on this year on the floor to make yourself a better leader, a better player, or things like that you can control and not so much the team?
Just more of leading by example, and then also like during timeouts and in the locker room, stepping up vocally, and then being a guy that other guys can come to and ask, well, what do we do on this play? And like, what do we do here? And just showing them and then elevating them too, so that we're all on one level when we play as one team.
We talked to Nick about his family. Let's talk. I mean, you have an unbelievable
what a support
family.
system there.
My good Uncle Shane. I'd be remiss if I didn't say him. I mean, Shane Davis thinks an awful lot of you. Talk about your family, what they mean to you, and why they're so important in being the young man that you are today.
I mean, they've always been there, especially with golf. They'd drive me to all my tournaments. They'd always be there, always get me new clubs and everything. And my grandpa a lot helped me with golf, and he was always on the range with me, putting in extra time. And then, I mean, they're always at the games. They're always supporting, always got my back, whether you play good or bad. And, it's just unbelievable support from them.
Mr. Mooney?
That's an awesome answer. And from somebody from Mooney, for sure, I'm awful proud of that. I was awful proud of your state championship. No doubt in watching that basketball team. No question. Look forward to it again. I'm going to go to Dad. I know your dad and brother are here. How special was that to and DJ, you talked about this, to win the state championship in golf. And I don't want to take anything, DJ, away from a team sport, because team sports help kids grow up and develop relationships forever. But what was that like to be a state champion and have your family right there with you after you're finished?
It was great because, I mean, the whole team qualified too, and my brother being on the team, so he was there, and I got to do everything with him there, and he was on the course too. So, I mean, I had a bunch of family come down too. So, I mean, to do it with a bunch of people watching and then my brother there, and we both got to hold the trophy and qualify. It made it even more better.
Well, you set an example for your brother. Let's talk about your younger brother a little bit. What do you see? How do you see his progress as a golfer coming up a senior? Who's the better golfer? I got to believe it's probably you right now, but he looks pretty good over it. I think in 3 years he may be wanting to emulate what you did. Talk about your brother and his golf game a little bit.
I mean, he can compete with me on any given day. He's just got to not beat up on himself as much as he does.
How do you get over that? I mean, I'm sure you've beaten up on yourself a time or two. How do you kind of make that maturity?
I mean, I think it just comes with more reps in every tournament you get a little bit better at keeping in your mind and keeping it level and not getting too high, not getting too low. Because it's not just about when you play bad getting too low. I mean, you gotta not get too high on good stuff too, because then it'll all come crashing down, and then it's even harder to bounce back from that.
2 questions left for you. All right, who is the best golfer you've played against locally? Not on the Mooney team.
The best golfer I've played locally. I mean, I play a lot of rounds with Ryan Sam. He plays golf at YSU.
Yep.
He's a big part in developing in the player I am today. He showed me a lot of stuff about golf mentally and swing wise too. So he's definitely up there.
All right. And finally, your dad's here. What's the best advice Dad has ever given you that you take with you every day of your life?
Don't hit any shot he would.
Okay, so do you hit it better than Dad? That's the next question.
Way better than
you
Dad.
hit it way better than
Way
Dad?
better than Dad.
Here's my problem, DJ. We talk about beating yourself up on a golf course. When I go play, I beat myself up all the time because I can't keep the thing straight.
Yep. Do
you enjoy playing with Dad? I'm sure you do.
I love it. As I've gotten older and better, I think he enjoys it a little bit less because he's
yes.
He's turned to using the handicap to get it to level out a little bit, because if he played me straight up, it wouldn't be very
But
good.
wait a second. Now, handicaps are key when you get to be our age. Handicaps are key. You talked about Coach Davis. We talk to Coach all the time, how proud he is of this family, of you and your brother. What does that mean for you to have a Coach Davis that's a college coach and does a great job at YSU? It has to help you and your brother as athletes.
Yeah, it just shows us what it takes and what they expect at the next level and what you have to do to get to that next level.
I love it. There he is, the state champion.
Represents us very well, no doubt.
Oh, my gosh. We're so proud of you, man. So incredibly proud. Oh, one last thing. What did you order today at the Sports Grill?
Well, we got the we got the bacon ranch fries.
Bacon ranch
fries.
fries.
Those are great. And
Staple.
then I got the mango wings because that's my favorite.
That's your
flavor.
go-to.
wings.
Love it. Dude, thank you so much. We appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
Thanks.
Rocco, the champ is here. The champ is going to take off. We appreciate him. We appreciate you. We'll be back with one more segment right here, live from the Sports Grill on YSN Prime Time Live.
Locally owned and operated, Sheely's relaxed shopping experience means browsing and lounging is always encouraged.
Find Flex Deal and more at Sheely's Furniture and Appliance, because the best things in life happen at home.
How lucky are we to have not one, but 2 18-hole Donald Ross Championship golf courses right here in our backyards. Mill Creek Golf Course was selected by Golf Week as one of America's 30 best municipal courses, continuing to challenge golfers of all levels and featuring golf instruction by PGA professionals, a state-of-the-art practice range, a PGA of America recognized pro shop, kids programs, and a relaxing grill room for a memorable golf experience. For more information or to schedule a tee time, visit millcreekmetroparks.org.
Fall is in the air. The kids are back to school, crowds are cheering for the home team, and Myers Family Insurance is prepped for another crazy Medicare season. Every year there's changes, some big, some small, so it's important to have a conversation to make sure your plan is going to meet your expectations for the coming year. Give our team a call today to schedule your annual review.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance or visit us on the web. Check us out online at myersfamilyins.com.
Going from mindful to mindful sometimes requires a helping, healing hand. Insight Clinical Counseling and Wellness offers a continuum of mental health and wellness care. At Insight, we're changing the way you receive counseling and wellness services with experienced licensed clinicians and expertly trained wellness staff. With 4 locations in Mahoning and Columbiana County, along with telehealth services, Insight offers clients quick access to care when they need it. Transform your mental health and wellness at Insight Clinical Counseling and Wellness.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in our final segment here from the Sports Grill. Once again, Sean Pregabon joins us, and thank you so much for allowing us to come in here. We have some breaking news we're going to pass along right now. We have 3 games. We know where they're going to be at this Friday and Saturday, I guess. West Branch will be playing at Ravenna. So West Branch will be playing at Ravenna. I believe that's a Saturday game. We're waiting on the JFK versus Southern, where they're going to be playing. So if you're out there and you're watching and you know where they're playing, maybe you can help us out. We haven't had access to look it up, but we've been getting some text messages. Mooney and South Range playing at Arrowhead Stadium in Girard on Friday night, and Ursuline and Canfield playing at Bo Ryan Stadium in Niles. So we've got
3 good ones.
3 really good ones. We thought with
South Range
99% certainty it was going to be Boardman.
Right.
Like that was, to me, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, and when you look at that now, could possibly see maybe a Southern JFK game at a Boardman.
Well, I know that South Range put in for
or a South Range.
They put in for that. They put in for actually both of the games on Saturday. So they didn't get the West Branch one. Or I'm sorry, Jefferson will be Saturday. So West Branch is Friday. And we prayed for this, right? This is what we wanted, Friday and Saturday. Now you got to keep them straight. Last segment here, boys. We want to talk about GPA and how important it is. And Sean, I know it means an awful lot to you and what it means for these student athletes and things of that nature. Talk to me. I'm not the guy you need to talk to about GPA, promise you. From that standpoint, I mean, these guys, these gals that are out there and student athletes, why should they be focusing on grades first as opposed to, getting in the gym, getting in, the different places that they can be training their bodies? They need to be training their minds.
Yeah, it's honestly these days, and I commend both of you again for doing the show and the aspiration for doing it and in sports, but just the grades are so important, as we all know, but they so often get overlooked because sports come to the forefront. Vindicator today, Mooney Soccer's all over it. And there's no mention of the grades or the academic challenges that these kids have. You asked my son Nick earlier, what's a day like? And this kid at high school these days, you guys know, it's like college.
Yep.
He leaves at 7 a.m. I don't see him till 9:30 at night, because he's got football. He's got to kick footballs for the football team, soccer. He's got study hall. Last week when they were training for these upcoming playoff games, he went to the library. He didn't even come home. He went to the library for an hour and a half, did homework and studied between football practice and soccer practice, got home, ate 2,000 calories and carbs and went to sleep and, whatever. So it's so important and much overlooked. Our GPA for the soccer team this year, making this state run, is the cumulative average is 4.11, one of the highest in the state. And consider this.
They could add both of ours together and be 4-1-1, right? Would be pretty close. Might be a little over that, but.
Yeah, this soccer team, they have at Cardinal Mooney High School, it's 8 out of the top 10 seniors are on the soccer team. We have the class president, Antonio Delicio. We've got a perfect ACT score on the soccer team.
Oh, wow, 36.
We've got the cumulative GPA. We have the valedictorian, salutatorian. I mean, these kids are not just athletes. They are smart. Nick, I don't know if he shared with you earlier, he has a 4.25 GPA.
Oh, wow.
Like Rocco, they could not only in sports, but through grades, as you know, to get in D1, you got to have the grades too. They can write their own ticket. So it's so important and gets overlooked. My daughter's a freshman. She has a 4.0 at Mooney. She's on the girls soccer team, which has been revitalized.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Agnes Cerveco came over from Boardman. And as you know, the girls' soccer team at Mooney has, had ups and downs and more downs in the past couple of years.
They had a great
year. And they made a run out of nowhere. The 15th seed played Poland. Great bunch of girls. Sofia Generalovic, Brock's, her dad is a good friend of mine. Nailed a goal. They lost 1-0, but they pressed the number 1 seed Poland girls Bulldogs to a 1-0 game, and they're the number 1 seed. So, the grades and we talk at home a lot about being cerebral on the field because academics isn't just in the classroom. It's you got to know what the heck you're doing in life, in sports, and in business to continue on. So very important. Proud of these kids. Proud of obviously my family, but the schools and the families in Youngstown, not only at Mooney but everywhere because they're the next version of entrepreneurs and hustlers and the guys that can work hard and the gals that can get it done and, maybe a future president. Who knows?
Very special. Obviously, Sundays are huge around here. Let's talk about this place to close it out. It's starting to buzz a little bit.
No Steelers and Browns, so it's an off week there. We picked a week there. But
and so that being said, it's Sports Grill. Come on down. It's great. And And look, I love having you guys here, but I think I'd be remiss too without just mentioning this in your show too. And we talked earlier about mentors and the people of Youngstown and the people of Cranberry, and that's something too with your business now. I'm sure you're starting to feel, but I was taught to give back too with our success, and that's something that I really didn't know about, because you're not thinking about that. You're just thinking about chasing the carrot and surviving and paying the bills and catching up on bills. Then all these other things happen. But a lot of my good mentors back there, in particularly, a few, but as I mentioned earlier, Ed Reese and Denise DeBartolo York, Ed Baranski. But my first lesson was Denise York. And when we were in the Boardman Plaza, she invited me to, do the food for the San Francisco 49ers golf outing at Tippecanoe Country Club.
Yeah, I remember those.
Then.
Those were awesome.
And me and my father-in-law, Norm Manning from Manning Engraving, and my wife, Carrie, we were up there serving ribs. And I remember he gave one of our DeRusso sausage sandwiches, and he made it, Norm, my father-in-law at the time, gave it to Randy Cross. And all these San Francisco 49ers are coming up and complimenting our ribs and our food. And I had to donate it.
Sure.
And so there was no money involved, but she asked me to do that for the team, and I did it. And I don't think I've worked a harder day in my life to do that. And then afterwards, John York took me aside on the patio of Tippecanoe Country Club, and we talked about his old pharmaceutical company and about my business and about just business. And he gave me some good advice. And I had to jump outside my skin to absorb all that. But anyway, Denise wrote me a handwritten note, as she does with everybody, on San Fran stationery with a Sharpie, and always signs it Heart D, and said, thank you for the food. And she's written me many thank you letters since. But you never forget that. And when we after 2 or 3 years of crying every night and doing all that stuff, I looked at my wife in the threshold of our bedroom one night, and I said, we finally we're making a little bit of money now, and I want to give back to Denise's foundation with the Edward J. DeBartolo Memorial Scholarship Foundation, which I learned through going through that and talking with them was a huge factor in her life and in Youngstown, just giving back. So I told my wife, I'm going to write her a check. First money we had in the bank, I'm going to write her a check. And she goes, we don't have any money. Like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm going to write her a check. And the check I wrote to Denise on handwritten, not stationery. We didn't have money for stationery, just a piece of paper. I wrote her a handwritten note. And I said, please don't be insulted by this, but the first money that we made at the restaurant, like 2 years later, I started crying. I wanted to give to you, to your father's foundation.
Awesome.
And it was for $125.
That's all.
Which probably meant millions to
it's
her,
everything.
knowing her.
And that was the first money we ever made. And I gave it back to someone who kind of helped launch us and helped. I still had to work for it. I still had to do it. But she maybe opened a door. So that being said, what I want to do, we had an agreement today of what we want to do, and you guys come in here today. So I want to kind of give back to you guys a little bit now and pay it forward. So whatever we talked about on paper, I'm going to double that, and then that's going to be the check that I'm going to give to you guys.
Well, we appreciate you so much, and we look forward to many more times. I know, DJ, I'll let you finish it, but my end, I've known you a long time, and that's what I always love about you. You've given back more than anybody I've ever known that started out with a dream, and that's why I love being the GM for DJ. He has a dream, and without donations like that you don't have to do, we can't do what we love to do. But DJ, I'll let you close it. You don't get two better people to interview than Nick and Rocco, and that's what we love to do. People want to hear kids' stories, kids' versions of what they go through. It's not coaching's awesome, no doubt. We have great coaches, but we do a good job of promoting not a 2-minute interview with a kid, but an actual sit down for 10 minutes. So, Sean, on my end as a GM at YSN, I can't thank you enough. Hopefully we can get YSN in here to PA and help you out some more, but I'll let DJ close it up.
I can't thank you enough. Like, it is, it's always humbling to meet people that understand. Nobody really understands kind of what you're going through until you meet another business owner and people that, like you, Sean, and it means more than you know. It means more than you know, because there's, those nights that you're sleeping on the sidewalk and when I'm at HQ at 4 a.m. and the police officer is driving by and shines a spotlight in the things that I'm stealing from the company that I have. Every penny counts. And in a world where we try to give back and try to give more and try to make sure that these guys they have student loans and they're trying to get their reps, and it means a lot. So I can promise you this, that what you just did, I will do continuously, because I love what you've done. A story that you haven't heard, and I know we're over here, but it was, I don't even remember the year, but it was September 21st. I love the Sports Grill so much, where it was on South Avenue, that I took my now wife there to have a nice meal, and then later that night I proposed to her because it was our favorite place. So the last time I ate here, I didn't eat much, because any person knows that you just, the answer's yes, but you just never know. So I'm just so blessed. Our paths have crossed so many times. Welcome to our family, because it is a family here at YSN, and I'm blessed and honored and can't wait to swap stories and listen to you and thank you for everything and continue this relationship, because you mean so much to Youngstown in the area and now Pittsburgh, and you mean so much to me and my family because of the memories that we've already created. So thank you so much.
Well, one thing for sure is when you speak from the heart, like Nick and Rocco,
that's it.
You can't fake it.
No.
And even with the Pelini family, again, another mentor and obviously the tradition, but both Vince and Diane were at the Norway game this past Friday.
And
we know what happened. And Bo's there, and obviously Coach Pelini taking over the sidelines and giving these kids the opportunity.
Right.
If he doesn't make the call to put Nick in to try a 44-yard field goal, and then again, as Nick said, if George didn't snap it right and Cam didn't hold it right, it doesn't matter if Nick can kick it 44 or 54 yards. All these things, and I thank Coach Pelini for having the guts to send Nick out on the field to give him a chance to make that happen. But it's when you speak from the heart, you can't fake it. And that's, I've learned that in life, and we all make mistakes. We do things, but you learn from it. And I tell my staff, Tiger Woods doesn't birdie every hole. Snap hook went into the wood, but don't do that again. Make these mental corrections and go on to make new mistakes.
Yep.
But as long as you're improving in life, in grades, on the field, in business, just keep going on and learning from mistakes and going on and making new ones. And that's all we can do. And the guy upstairs has a plan for everything. So let's figure it out. Let's have fun while we're doing it.
We're going to have a little fun after this. Have some great food, no doubt. Can't thank you enough again. I know I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, and we'll let DJ close up shop on another good one.
Yeah, great week ahead. If you're a Mooney fan, if you're a sports fan, it's going to be right here on YSN. For all of us here at YSN, for Sean Pregabon, for the boys back there, Nick and Rocco, thank you for tuning in. We're going to go have some fun. I'm going to eat some ribs, boys. Yeah. It's time. Get out here to Cranberry if you haven't been. Brown Steelers aren't on. They're both underdogs in the bye week. So make sure to get out here and eat some good food. We appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you next time on the YSN Primetime.
YSN thanks you for watching this